Good morning. Welcome to Sales Chatter. Thank you so much for your patience. This is the Logistics Podcast where we aim to help 10,000 reps hit a million GP. I'm your co-host, Ryan Mohammed. With me is my amazing co-host, President and CEO of RGTX Logistics Solutions, the bodacious cowboy, Jeff Dickinson. How you doing this morning, brother?
Good, my man. It's unbelievable. Here we are, Thursday. It just seems like Monday was yesterday. So, we're all busy, which is great, right? But, man, today we continue our great conversations about empowering women into logistics. We have a couple of great guests that's going to join us. So, with that said, let's get into it.
Boom.
Welcome to the HPLS Podcast. Live, relevant, and high performance information, conversations, and education weekly.
And there we go. You know, Jeff, I'm always on the lookout for guests to come on our show who have like different experiences, different walks of life, and people who've built incredible workspaces and environments. But at the same time, they're able to share their lessons that they've learned along the way. Our guests today, I'm a little bit biased. They're dear friends of all of ours. So I'm loving this opportunity, Jeff. When a friend comes by on this show, I think I know them a little bit. But then when we actually interview them, we get to actually know a lot about them. So I know everyone's going to be really excited. We see the comments blowing up. Everybody's kind of getting ready for today's episode. So without further doubt, we're welcome to bring our guests here to talk about empowering women into logistics. Our first guest is going to be Richelle Klabis. She's the Director of Operations at Trucking Proz. She is a positive influencer, striving for thinking outside of the box solutions, and an avid supporter of women in trucking conferences all across North America. She also participates in REITs across America, which is an amazing foundation that they support. And to be honest, she's one of the best leaders that I personally know. But that's one guess, right? But we got two today. We got a twofer with Trucking Proz. We have the amazing Tracy Lynn, who is the relationship growth manager at Trucking Proz. What more can I say about her? She's a powerhouse professional with over 10 years in B2B and B2C experience, focusing on partnerships and relationships instead of using the tag word customers. So there's no customers at Trucking Proz, for those who don't know. She supports Hope for Youth and veterans in trucking. I know it's a lot, but good morning to Richelle and Tracy. We're so pleased to have you on the show this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us. Glad to have you on board. I know that you're very, very busy, so your time is precious, and we thank you for that.
Absolutely. We are honored to be here.
Oh no, we're even more honored. So let's get started. Let's to both of you, how did logistics find you both?
Do you want to go first, or do you?
It doesn't matter to me. I can go first. So I started in the industry at a very young age. I graduated high school early, started college, and I came up to Minnesota from Arizona, where I was residing at the time. And my aunt, who had worked at Transport America, said, "Hey, we could really use some help with like order entry. It's super easy stuff. You're going to love it." So I said, "Okay, well, I'll try it out." Well, here I am 20 plus years later, still in the industry and absolutely loving it.
And Tracy,
my story is a little bit different. I actually just started in the industry back in November. So it's been fun so far. My background is actually manufacturing sales in the recruitment world. So totally different, but yet same in itself. I think our clients are the same. I'm kind of what I always say is I'm a manufacturing geek. I love everything about manufacturing, everything about blue collar. And when I had the opportunity back in November to think about what my next step would be, back in the day, I was thinking about what do I want to do with my life? And ironically, at that time, I had two job offers. One was with a trucking company, and the other one was within staffing. And that time at 24 years old, I decided to go into the staffing world. It's funny how like the circle came around 20 years later. Here I am getting the opportunity to try the other world of logistics and having a lot of fun so far. When it comes to relationships, it's, kind of the same regardless of what you're selling. People are people. So I'm very excited to be in this space.
And you're doing an amazing job. To have you both here is a pleasure of ours. For us, that we get into logistics, and our theme is empowering women into logistics. But first, I want to get into a little bit about Trucking Pros itself. So, both of you, can you guys tell us who Trucking Pros is, where are you guys based out of, what your missions, what things that makes you Trucking Pros unique?
I can take that one, or I can start it, Tracy. So Trucking Pros is based out of Roberts, Wisconsin. We are an asset-based company. We are an EOS, which is Entrepreneurial Operating System company, which is really exciting. We can talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. But we are a company that put people first no matter what, whether it's the drivers, the customers, the vendors, whoever it is that we're working with. We always strive to put the people first. And our tagline is actually people-driven solutions. So nice. It is a fabulous place. I absolutely love it here. Tracy, you can add on if you have more to add.
No, I think you said it well.
Perfect. And it's a great company. Let's get into, as with our topic being empowering women into logistics. One of the themes, or one of the reoccurring conversations that we have, Richelle and Tracy, is that women have they have a little bit of an advantage in our space here. The themes that we get talked about a lot is empathy. They have better time management, and as well being a woman and being a mom as well. What can both of you speak on in terms of traits that has given you an advantage coming into this industry?
Can we go first?
Yeah.
So I guess my title pretty much fits who I am as a woman and as a person. My role here is relationship growth manager, and that means many different things. I think for women, and I hate to say it because men are the same too. I mean, we're pretty universal, but I think we have a softer approach when it comes to relationships sometimes. I think we are nurturing just by nature. And then if you have kids, you just have that whole different level of nurturing. And I look at, my clients as my friends, really. There has been many opportunities that I've worked with clients, and they end up being, we go to happy hour and we hang out. So I think we just have a different approach when it comes to, like, in my position is part of it is sales. We have a different approach of selling, of more of a nurturing, hearing, understanding. Sometimes, I don't want to generalize it, but sometimes we just have, like I said, a softer approach to the way we do business.
One thing that I think is really important, kind of to Tracy's point, is understanding that person or that business and knowing what their needs are and aligning with them on how you can match it or how you can surpass it for them. I think she hit the nail on the head, but we take the people approach. We want to know who we're working with, what we're working with, and making sure that we're honoring our commitments to them and understanding exactly what it is that they're asking for.
It's awesome.
And it
yeah,
shows
and
across
just,
the board.
I want one more add to that is I think it's been funny as I started here, working from the staffing agency. It is very people driven, people first. Mm-hmm. And, being on meetings, being face-to-face with people, getting people on the phone was a heck of a lot easier in that world than it is in this transportation world. And I am bound and determined to change that, that I want to talk to people. I want to understand your business. I want to know what makes you tick, what's frustrating. I don't want to go over email and just be straight and to the point. I can answer your questions better if I understand where your problems are and where they lay and how we can have solutions for you. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But I think I'm going to change this industry, and we're going to start getting that people-centered first. Mark my words.
Nice. I've been asking all these guests that we've had over the last week or so this important question. Since Title VII, the Civil Rights Act of 1964, women had a lot to do with that, with the entitlements and being able to do what they do today. Where we were, where we are today, and where we need to be, and how we're going to get there is very, very important. I wanted to get your feedback as far as your thoughts on that subject. Where do you think we are, and how can we improve to get women more noticed in this industry to help them get to upper levels than where they are today?
I can start with that. So okay. I think it's really important that we continue to empower women, allowing women the opportunities, which I've been blessed with 2 great companies that have honored that and value women and have shown that. I know there's potentially a lot of companies out there that don't, but I've been very fortunate in that space. Going to Women in Trucking and just seeing how many kick-ass women there are in this industry that are going to take a firm stance on what they believe. And not that they're not open-minded, they are open-minded. They're willing to listen to others, but they're going to continue to promote others. And their only competition is themselves. We're not here to compete within other women. We're here to empower everybody and boost them all. So I think we've come a long way. We still have some room for improvement, of course. We probably always will. But it's been fascinating to me to see how many wonderful people are truly in this industry and how men and women are willing to promote women, which before was no way. This was, I feel, a men-driven industry by far. So it's great.
That's awesome. Tracy, how about you? Because you came from the recruiting side of the business, so you must have talked to a lot of women and a lot of directors of human resources at various companies. What are your thoughts on that?
What's crazy is in human resources that it's a very female-dominated position. I think a lot of my clients were female, but my end client were primarily male because it was manufacturing, it was warehouse managers, it was engineer representatives. And I think, like what Richelle said, is empowering women. And I think a lot of times we need to get out of our own way and make sure that we are advocating for ourselves, make sure that we are confident within ourselves that we can do the job. And we show, I mean, anybody can do any position if they're qualified. And it's our job as individuals, as women, to show that we can do it just, if not good, as good or better than anybody else. So I think making sure we stay front and forward and stay out of our own way.
Yeah, good point. And one of the things that I'm very interested in is, talking to all these different directors of human resources at these various companies. What do you think that they're lacking in, according to the feedback that you got from the people that you were trying to place there? I mean, what was the number one issue that they thought at that time?
When it comes to being an advocate,
interviewing and what they heard and how they felt inside, during the interview process. I'm just curious about that.
I think, I don't know. I chose my clients wisely. If I didn't do business with just anybody and everybody. So when I was interviewing who I was going to do business with, so I basically was business development for, and I sold to multiple different manufacturing companies. If I didn't get a good feel from them, they weren't going to be my client. So I think for me, I didn't come across anything like that very often, just because I kind of did my homework first. And if I didn't feel like my clients or my people that were interviewing were going to get the best foot or best opportunity, I wouldn't work with that client. So I was kind of unique.
Okay.
Love those. Those are great answers. Richelle, earlier on when we're speaking here, you mentioned something about EOS. And it's a big thing that is an initiative that Trucking Proz takes as well. Can you describe to the audience a little bit about what EOS is, what it is, and then more importantly, what it's done for yourself? And I'd love to get Tracy's opinion as well.
Sure, absolutely. It's something I'm super passionate about, so I love talking about it. But EOS is basically a simple concept with practical tools that help you align your vision, gain traction, and become a healthy company. I think we've been in it for about a year now. And it's just that alignment within our vision, that everyone's on the same page. Everyone knows where we're going and where we're headed. We've got the right people in the right seats, and we're pushing our business forward and gaining that traction. It has been a phenomenal experience so far, and I'm so excited to see where it gets us to.
And it's kind of fun seeing it within another organization, because the past organization that I was a part of had EOS as well. It was a new concept for me. I didn't know anything about it. And I think where I came from introduced Trucking Proz to EOS, correct, Richelle?
It did, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so amazing organization. And what Richelle said is, making sure you have the right people in the right seats. So not even necessarily if somebody's not performing, but they're the right individual, is there a different place for them? So instead of letting them go, because we know talent is extremely hard to find, to make sure that there is a place for them, and making sure that they're happy, and making sure everybody's values align. I mean, if you have the wrong people within your organization, they can do damage. So making sure I always say, hire slow and fire fast, because the wrong person in the wrong seat and the wrong person in general can do a lot of damage. So I think EOS, if you don't know about it, it's definitely something you should read about, because it can definitely change your organization. And to add on that too, is that when it's more of a short-term process and you always know where you're at, is like, how many times have you been working for an organization that at the end of the year you have a review and then all the things come up and you had no idea you were underperforming,
Right.
but yet at the end of the year, you're not going to get a raise because they didn't see A, B, or C from you. Well, with EOS and the way, Trucking Proz runs things, you'll never be in that position. You'll know where you're at all times, and you'll know what you need to do to get where you want to be within the organization.
That's all.
And not only for the individuals, but for the company as well. You're not blindsided at the end of the quarter or the month or the year stating, well, you guys failed to hit your metrics here, because you're constantly talking about it every single week.
That's so important. That really is. Richelle, about your company, what makes it special in regards to hiring women? What are you doing differently that other companies should mirror?
I would say what we do differently here is just promoting growth from within. We have several people that work for our organization. We actually have more women than men right now, which I love that. But we have an individual here that came fresh out of high school, just like I did. And she has been so great, and she wants to grow. She's completely bought in, but always just making sure that we're empowering those women. That's the buzzword of the day, I would say, is empowerment, and making sure you're recognizing them, you're valuing them, you're helping them identify their weaknesses and helping them find patterns or what they can do to change that. But it's awesome.
Yeah, that is key. That is key in any management structure, when you have those tools and that engagement and that collaboration to try to get to that next level to help other people instead of always thinking about yourself. So I agree with you 100% on that. I did some stats earlier last week, and I found that 1 in 4 women across all sectors, or 25%, are in C-level positions, and then 1 in 20 women of color are in C-level positions. That's 5%. What are your thoughts on that, as far as what's happening that's not allowing women to get to those? What are those obstacles and barriers that you feel that are preventing that?
I would say confidence within the women. As Tracy noted earlier, we have to be confident within ourselves, knock out the competition, and don't think, well, that gentleman's been in this industry for 30 plus years. He knows way more than I do. There are new people coming into the industry every day that know far more than I do. So just accepting that if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Continue to challenge yourself, bring new people in, bring some of that new blood in, encourage them to try something different, get out of their comfort zones, as Tracy told me this morning, and just continue to promote them. Expose them to things that they haven't been exposed to before. Try to get to those job fairs, try to get to those high school fairs, and just talk about the industry and expose it.
Absolutely.
Well, and I guess us women together too is come together and talk to each other and understand each other's value, and be each other's cheerleader. I've always been known as the cheerleader of every organization I've worked at, but truly, I mean, sometimes you don't see the value within yourself that others see. So the more you talk to people that know you, the more you'll see what you can actually bring to the organization.
Right, because you're trying to get that skill level out of them that they don't even know exist, by helping, right, by encouraging them, by engaging them, which is great.
Yeah, and I'm guilty of it, 100%.
We all are.
Well, you look at the company itself, right? And you look at Jason. Jason is a person that I know personally as well. And, the way that he kind of leads is everything that you guys have said is like fall in line with the way he kind of leads as well. And just having that. But I want to ask you guys, because I know you're both mothers. Richelle, you're going to be a grandmother in a couple months as well. So we're super excited. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How do you feel that balance is because a lot of us, like, hey, we'll finish whether we work a 9 to 5 or 8 to 4, whatever our schedule is, we get to go home, we get to relax a little bit. But when you guys go home, you guys got to put on that mom cap. How do you find your experience and what you've kind of learned from logistics has kind of pushed you in those relationships, developing deeper relationships with your family?
Well, balance, I think, is super important. Is making sure that whatever happened during the day doesn't come home. I think because the kids don't care, and vice versa. I even tell my kids too, is that when they come home and they're angry, did I do that to you? No. So don't take it out on me. Find that avenue to just release or let go. And I work from home. It used to be driving and blasting my music until I walk in the door, but finding that avenue to shut it off and then turn on and put that mom hat on. But I think what's cool is that being women in business and leaders is that we're showing our kids that anybody can do any job, that you're not pigeonholed to one career. I mean, the sky's the limits, kids.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say for me, my family's very involved with my work too, because I have not quite figured out that balance piece, but we're working on it. But I talk to my kids a lot about transportation and just showing them the insides and outsides, letting them see the trucks and letting them be involved with it is not something every kid gets to. It's not only little boys that want to look inside those big semi trucks or that are standing on the street corner pumping their arms for the truck drivers to honk their horn. Little girls are interested in it too. So I think just involving them in it, letting them know about it and exposing them to it it's been fun to do it and fun to see their interest as they've grown older, learning more about what the trucking industry is and what it's about, what I do as a boss mom.
Boss mom, I love that.
Boss mom.
Boss mom, I
like
love
it.
that.
I
Yeah,
love
that's
And
awesome.
it's fun when they get excited to see the trucks driving down the street. Look, Mom.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, it's just like taking pictures and stuff like that. Well, speaking of that, let's talk about the driver aspect because you guys are an asset-based carrier. How do you find that? What do you kind of see in terms of like recruiting drivers? Do you see a lot of women coming involved, or do you see a lot of women, if they are coming involved, that they're coming in with like their partner? We got those couples that kind of do teams and stuff like that. Richelle, can you talk a little bit about the driver side of it?
Sure. So there are obviously a lot more women that are applying. However, when the women come in, we have a few on our fleet right now. Man, they are some badasses. I will use them for resources constantly too. If we have a new driver that comes in that doesn't maybe understand something, I feel like at times women can be a little bit more patient with training. So a lot of times we'll use one of our drivers, her name is Jody, as a resource for our new drivers to call, to bounce ideas off of, to knowledge share, just to understand some things. Like I said, they're badasses. I love the women that drive for us. We don't have any teams right now. We do have some husbands that bring their wives along. And I love when that happens as well, just because a lot more women are organized and keep their paperwork in place. And
True.
of that, we know that they're going to be organized if the wife is in it, and they're going to be very disciplined. They're going to utilize their full clock. They're likely not going to be oversleeping, and not that they do it on purpose, but they seem to be a lot more utilized when they have their wife in the truck with them.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. And, working on the shipper side for over 35 years, I can tell you that the women that did come to my dock brought the empathetic side of it, very, very engaging, very helpful, very organized. So I understand exactly what you're saying. And it's so, so true. What are you doing at your company to promote more women to get involved in your trucking side of the business?
Trucking Proz, I would say for advertisement, we try to market some of those women that we have. Like I said, we try to empower them, bring them along to trade shows if they're interested, encourage them to join Women in Trucking so they're exposed and out there for other people to know that we encourage women in trucking. We promote it. We want them to join our team. We're here to support them any way that we can. We do have women in leadership, and now more women in the office than men. So we promote that women in trucking.
Great. How about you, Tracy?
I like to showcase, we do specialty trucks from time to time, and Jason's done a great job of like finding causes that we're passionate about as an organization, not just what he's passionate about. And I think one of my favorite ones is our woman driver actually drives it, is supporting breast cancer and ovarian cancer. It's a bright pink aqua truck that gets attention, and I think pretty colors get us excited sometimes. I know it does for me. So every time I see that truck, I think I stopped traffic last time and took a picture of it. But I think getting the attention of females that we support things that might be important to them.
Awesome.
That's beautiful. So you guys have been amazing so far. You guys are like pros. Like, you guys can do like Trucking Proz chatter. We don't need to be here anymore. So I'm going to finish off with one question for both of you. What are you both looking forward to in the years to come?
I'll start.
Sure.
I'm excited. I think being new to the industry and starting with a company that is just on that edge of exploding and doing amazing things. I mean, we've gone leaps and bounds just within this last year with assets and the brokerage. And I think this next 6 months is going to be night and day. And I'm excited to see the opportunities that are going to be in front of us. I'm super excited. Part of my role is to help interview and bring on internal staff. So I'm excited to see who's going to be new that's coming through our doors within the next year and outgrowing our space and having a new space. So I think this year is going to be definitely an exciting year. I didn't get to see the last years, but I'm glad I get to see what's going forward.
Yeah, I would say the same thing for me. I'm just really excited to see the growth and development of Trucking Proz and TPZ Logistics. It's been so much fun to see where we were when I started 2 years ago to where we are now, and how we're evolving and growing with the industry every single day, promoting women's growth, empowering them as well, being a part of different organizations, Women in Trucking, Reefs Across America's, Veterans in Trucking. I'm so excited about all of it. I don't necessarily know where it's going to go. I don't know if we're ever going to hit a peak where we stop. The sky's the limit. And it's been phenomenal so far.
No, because when we get there, Jason will say, "What's next?" And I love that.
Get to right there, and he'll be like, "Okay, now we're going to go here."
Okay, what's next?
We love that. He's always raising the bar.
It's fun.
Right. Let's level up, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
Absolutely.
Definitely level up. So want to thank you both so much for taking time out of your busy day. This is your time. Promote yourself. Tell the audience how they can get a hold of you. Is there anything that, I know you guys got a couple shows coming up that you guys are going to be at. Let's hear it. People want to get into contact with Trucking Proz.
Yeah, it's actually going to be we have 2 shows. It's going to be a busy month. We wanted to go to the food shippers, but it overlaps with another one. So Jason and I are going to be at the TCA here coming up. We're winning an award, which will be super exciting for, what's the actual title, Richelle? It's best. I should know that off the tip of my tongue, but
Best fleets to drive for.
There you go. Best fleets to drive for. So the Wellington group of companies, this is the 2nd year in a row. Is that correct?
So this is the 3rd year. 2020, 21, 22, and 23. Yes.
Awesome. That we get presented with this award. So that will be super fun. I've not been to a trade show yet. So this will be my first one. And then we also are going at the end of this month. You're caught me off guard here. The is it the MTA?
Yes.
A Mid-America Trucking Show, sorry. So last year, we won an award at the Mid-America Trucking Show for the veterans wrapped truck.
Nice.
So this year we're going to defend our title. So we have a new truck that's going to be in that show as well. And hopefully we win it for a 2nd year in a row. So that'll be fun.
Awesome.
And then Richelle, Women's in Trucking, right?
Women in Trucking will be in November, and I am going to the EOS conference in April too. So if anyone wants to learn any more about EOS, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I can point you in the direction. Our integrator is Sue Hawks. She's at Yes in Golden Valley, Minnesota. She is phenomenal. I can't say enough good things about her, but I can get you associated with them too if there's more you want to learn about EOS. It is I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm so passionate about it.
Yeah, we got a couple slots left. We got one more week of where we're doing women empowerment, so maybe we can see if we can get Sue on, and that'd be
Oh
really cool
yeah,
to have
she
everybody
would
talk
love
about it.
to.
That'd
Yes,
be pretty
absolutely.
cool. And for the Mid America Truck, our good friend Dean Croak, who is the principal analysis at DAT. He's going with his truck. So I hope we get a little collaboration. Dean Croak from
Yeah.
a little bit of sales chatter, a little Trucking Proz, and hoping to see there. So want to thank you both. Like again, you guys took the time out of your day to spend it with us. It's been amazing. The audience, if you can found any value in this, which I know you definitely did, please like, comment, subscribe, let us know, because share this with somebody we think they could definitely bring value. And then one of the number one things that we always kind of say is that, hey, we're gonna hit the replays. So even if you missed this live at 11 a.m., you'll get that replay at 2 and 5 p.m. Eastern time, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Jeff, take us home, my man.
Yes, thank you, Tracy and Richelle, for joining us. We really appreciate your insights. We'd love to have you come back in next several months in regards to the goals and objectives that you're creating for your company. Love to hear how that worked out for you. Also, like to thank Centurion Trucking and Daman. If you're looking for a sales position, he's up to 60% GP. So please reach out to him. He'd love to hear from you. And with that said, the Bodacious Cowboy is out. Have a great day, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.